Alright fellas, let's continue on with free time events of Danganronpa Mauve. We're done with Katori's. Let's go for something else. What do we have? Encyclopedia. Oh yeah, we could go for the library person. The glasses girl. Where is it? 2 book covers. Cool. Oh, okay, cool. Can actually go to her right now. Where could she be? Let's see. I think last I saw her, she was in one of them classrooms. Not you. Found her. Let's save it number. System save number 4. Then again, we're done with Katori's, I can always override her save file. That. Spend time with Jumonji, yeah. Spend some time with Jumonji discussing ancient literature. Cool. He knows that stuff? Yeah. Give, sure. Yeah, give encyclopedia. What did you give me? Thank you. Did you know I like this too? Cool. Jumonji seems very pleased. This is tough. I don't even know how to approach to speak to her. Is it right to talk to her when she isn't concentrating on reading in the first place? Wouldn't she be angry for breaking her concentration for no reason? What do you want? Huh? You're standing in front of me. Speak up. Her focus was already broken. I just wanted to talk to you, because we live next to each other, but since you were focused on that book, then go away, do not idle here. With one last word of refusal, Jumonji plunged back into the book world. In many ways, I was impressed by the dryness of the response, devoid of any socializing. This isn't the time to say that. She doesn't want to talk. Is it okay to reject someone's contract? If I ask questions like that, the opponent is Jumonji. It would be better to look elsewhere for a topic. That book you're reading, is it W.E. by Yevgeny Zamyatin? I've read it too. Is it We? You read it? Of course, when I think of dystopian fiction, I think of classics like 1984 and Brave New World, right? Of course, it's not as well known as those two, but it was published before them and was influential. Good, I'm glad I read this one before. Of course, like you, I haven't read it in its original form. Interested in books. Ankana is similar to the other dystopian novels, yet differentiated from them. It's similar to 1984 in that there is a dictator who is blindly followed by the main character participates in the revolution with the heroine. The idea of a neatly organized society and the characters leaving it for a savage one is a motif of Brave New World. Right, with the specific setting of 200 Years' War, of course. The setting of a humanity that abhors freedom and irrationality, and therefore imprisons itself in the shackles of control and reason, is unique to this novel. There's essentially a different part of 1984 and Wonderful New World than anything else. It's a good idea. I know how you feel. 1984 is my personal favorite, but its literary value as an original is immeasurable. I think so too, but what I specifically said was it was good. The relationships between the main characters, D, and the ones with the heroine, O and I, are the most interesting parts to me. Really? I didn't expect that. It's funny, isn't it? Reading other people's emotions. In reality, you can't read a person like a book, although it is very inconvenient. Is that why you've been so reticent? Is that how you pronounce it? Reticent? It's more fun to just read a book. Why have a conversation about something that's annoying and uninteresting to me? Jumonji went quiet again, as if to say that our business was done and to make me go away. She has her nose buried in a book every day, but I learn valuable information about how she becomes more talkative when the topic of books comes up. Of course it is. Then again, the question is, What's the interest? Hey, Jumonji, it's been fun talking to you. I'll see you later. Hooray. 1 skill point. Pondering what to do next, I thanked her. With no more answers, she parted ways with Jumonji to return to my private room. See you later, reader. Plenty of time left. Cool. Let's see. Where could she be hiding next? So she was in the diner last time. Is she there again? This time? I don't see anybody. Or maybe you're in the corner here. Nothing. Alright. Let's get there. Found you. Save here just in case she asks a question that I don't know the answer to. Spend time, yep. I'll break your shield barrier someday. Spend some time with Jumonji discussing ancient literature. Intimacy increased. Yes, please. Bubblegum, white paper, book cover. She'd like this, of course. Yep. Very pleased. I have approached Jumonji once more. Now, how do I say this again? Hey, Jumonji, reading another book? Yeah. Oh, there's a reaction. Is that all you have to say? Huh? You are a fool. It seems like you wanted to talk to me for ages. Just say something interesting to discuss. An interesting topic. From what I've seen, Jumonji, aren't you still reading the original book? Can you read it? No, I have it as a decoration. Of course I can read it. I was taught to read in the original. I used to read everything in translation. I feel that the translation captures the emotion of the original text. I started learning English right away. Latin, English, French, Spanish, German and Italian, Russian, Chinese, Cantonese, Korean, Danish, Swedish, Portuguese, Polish, Serbian, Ukrainian, etc. I can only read them. I still need to study. Wow, you're so good at what you do, and you still want to learn more? Well, I don't think I'm that great. I can read and write, but it's not the same as speaking and listening. It is hard to write when we're communicating face to face. Above all else, I am still lacking in quantity. My goal is to read every interesting book in the world, and of course I need to know all the characters and languages of the world. Until then, I won't stop learning. Is being a voracious reader a qualification for an ultimate librarian? Let's reverse the question. Have you ever thought about using your language skills elsewhere? Thought. No, not yet. Is it still a thought? I said not yet, didn't I? I just don't know. Of course, the skills I've developed for reading can be put to good use elsewhere. I can translate, I can dabble in linguistics, and I can teach others. I still have no idea what I'm thinking, so what I can do. I just want to read one more interesting book that I have not discovered yet. What I can do, or is it what can I do? So you're not thinking about the future at all. If you're in high school, you have plenty of time to figure it out, but until then, live without thinking. Jumonji was looking at me with dark eyes that seemed to enshroud me in. There was not the slightest hint of agitation in her demeanor as she spoke about her life as if she were narrating a book of poetry. Is that our show of talent or a lack of awareness? We're at a loss of words again. Once we got into the future, she seemed to lose interest. Once we got into the future, she seemed to lose interest in the conversation again. Well, if you're not interested, that's fine. But how did you manage to learn so many languages? It's not that difficult. You just have to memorize the book. What? Didn't I tell you I can remember everything I've read once? From the book I read From the book I read when I was 3 years old to the one I'm holding now. Foreign language books takes a while to learn because it's the first time I see the text, but after a few readings, I'll have it memorized. Amazing! Is being a bookworm a quality for the ultimate librarian? Can't believe I had such shallow thoughts. Ultimate librarian is a position that can be won by simply reading a lot of books. Passage in the book, edition of the book, author, publisher, location of the book, call number, classification symbols. I should be able to recall them all off the top of my head. In order to become an ultimate, I actually memorized the entire collection of my primary, middle, and high school libraries within a week of joining the school. And I was always selected as a library committee member. That's the case at the Tokyo Metropolitan Library, where I work now. Oh shit, it's raining so hard. What is it with this weird weather? You work there? By the way, didn't you say you were from Osaka? I live alone in Minato City, Tokyo. It is an unavoidable choice when working. I imagine Jumonji cooking for herself in her dorm room, Jumonji working with a serious expression on her face. Neither of which came easily to mind. Why are you looking at me with that face? It's nothing. I wonder. I started to shrug it off as nothing, but then paused. You're wondering, huh? Is this the first time Jumonji was ever interested in someone else's thoughts? It's nothing important, just that it's not common for high school students to live on their own. I was worried about your health, and you're underage, so I'm sure there will be more inconveniences. I'd be lying if I said there were not, especially cooking for myself. I see. It will affect my health if I live by just a convenience store, so I'm making my own food even though it's annoying. If I become someone whose health is deteriorating, then I can't read anymore. I do exercise, so I'm doing as much as I can. So it's all because of the books after all. As I said, I'm just trying to read more interesting books, as long as I still have time to discover more. If the only thing that guarantees fun is a book, why would I want anything else? Books have become a great way to get through life, not a way to feed the mind. It may seem strange at first glance, but... does this seem weird to you? Huh? I don't really care what other people think of me. Does it look weird from the other person's point of view? No, I don't think so, because people go on with their lives for more trivial reasons than you might think. The meal they ate earlier was delicious, looking forward to a payday in a week, wanting to find love or someone who has a crush on, etc. Books, I think, would be better because it has clear, tangible value. That's how I see it. Yeah, that's it. Why did you ask? We're back to our usual tongue-tied Jumonji. It's like she doesn't have the attitude for a mature conversation, that she only says what she wants to say and then dismiss the person in front of her. I don't really care what other people think of me. Does it look weird from the other person's point of view? There's a reason then. Hooray. One skill point. Without another word, I left Jumonji behind and returned to my private room. Awesome. So we got 2 FTEs there. Next is the third one. Let's go look for her. Where could you be hiding? I will find you. I found you. That is you, right? Oh yeah. Spend time with Jumonji, yep. I spent some time with Jumonji discussing ancient literature. Again. Yep. Yeah. Book cover. Yes. Awesome. We're done here. Let's head back to my room. Wait, what? That's the whole thing? What? Huh. That's the whole that's the FT number 3 just what? School announcement happy. Okay, yeah. Wait, what? But did it increase though the intimacy level or something? Let's see. Did it increase? Let's see. Profile. Where are you? So, ultimate really ultimate. What? Uh-oh. What is this? I did save, so let's just go to sleep. The hell? So I'm gonna be skipping parts until we get to the free time events again. Okay, free time. Let's see how many gifts I have left. So, for some reason, the gift that I gave her didn't activate an FTE for some reason. So, we don't have any more book covers. You have 2 more mystery novels, and yeah. Occult books? Would she like that? Yeah. I don't think so, but maybe she would. It is still a book. Mechanical aromas, is it mine? Ultimate werewolf? Play one a mafia game, fun to play with. Maybe I should go to the store first and get some things. I wonder if she likes encyclopedias. Let's see. I hope she does. Because if she doesn't, then what a waste of time. I've been looking for ya. Save him. Spend time, sure. Ancient literature again, and then give her a gift. Book cover, nothing. Mystery novel. Would you like this? Please like this. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. You've come again with more questions. Okay, she's not trying to push me away. Good progress. Do we need a reason to talk? I see you're reading again, as usual. Are you enjoying it? Is that really a question you want answered? Well, you're not bored, just reading a book. It seems like you only brought 1 copy. Aren't you tired of it? Tired? Wrong. Do you think there's such a thing as getting tired of a book for me? She showed her dark eyes behind her glasses, trying to see the weirdest person in the room. I've read this book 138 times now. This is the 139th. So you're currently reading that book for the 139th time? Yes. Yes, I can remember all the words I've read once, but there's something about rereading a book that interests me. A joy to read again when you want to feel it again. Really? You can feel that? Sometimes the magic disappears since you know everything that there is to read about the book that you read once or read multiple times already. It's hard to go back to a book I've read once, yep. But I get it. You want to recreate the thrill of reading a great book. I don't think I would ever read it again because it's less interesting if I can remember the contents though. Still, after reading a masterpiece, wouldn't anyone want to erase their memories and read it again? Jumonji had already taken her eyes off the book. I'm surprised about you. How can you relate to this without being able to read it once and memorize everything? I'm not sure if that's a compliment or insult. I've heard a similar question many times before. How do you read the same book so many times? Most of the people who I answered the question said it was great and praised me. Does it really look that amazing? It's just long reads. Someone who thinks games are fun and sits in front of a computer all day is the same as someone who finds a show interesting and never leaves the TV. I don't understand why games are considered a normal hobby and books are considered an unusual hobby. And it's true, I was just doing something fun, but my relatives, classmates, and teachers all treated me like some kind of special child. Special treatment itself is bad and creepy, just because they say it's something special. Even when they're happy and rallying behind me, I don't feel happy. Now I'm the one surprised. I thought you did not care what people thought of you. Half true. I don't mind if it's interesting to me. It's just that there's nothing going on around me that piques my interest. If you hear yourself cursing and just pass by them, that's a human being. Whether they takes action or just ignores it, it remains the same that they care. Why do people get so worked up about reading a book just for fun? Well, I've made it this far thanks to that attention, so I'm sure they'll hate me for it too. What does that mean? Last time I spoke to you, I work at the Tokyo Metropolitan Library. I think that was probably the biggest factor in me getting scouted by Hope's Peak Academy. Yeah, I know. I remember you told me that before. The Tokyo Metropolitan Library is one of the largest libraries in Japan. What happened to it? If we're going to talk about that, we have to talk about something less pleasant. Not a pleasant story? Yeah, she just said that. There's more. You'll know it when you hear it. Can you tell me about it? Is this the thing that caught your curiosity? Well, I thought she was going to lose interest again and stick her nose in the book, but Jumonji surprisingly started to follow the story. I don't understand her at all. Firstly, working at the Tokyo Metropolitan Library means I was officially hired and working there. I was working as a part-time job. Or you mean a part-timer, not a part-time job. You're not literally a job, you are a part-timer of the job. It originally started with a small municipal library near my home. How happy I was to be surrounded by books and earn money for my work. I'm a native of the area, so I've had my face stamped by everyone from the librarians to the director since I was a kid. I was a high school student who hadn't even gone to university, let alone got a qualification, but I got off to a good start with my part-time job. You did? It's been about a month since I started working. The library was crowded, so I thought, what's going on? Then it got louder and louder. There were many students in uniforms that I hadn't seen before. I'm secretly watching them as they wander from shelf to shelf trying to organize their returned books. I'm treated like a monkey in a zoo, but I quietly approach them and try to start a conversation, asking for book recommendations. And word of your extraordinary abilities spread by whatever means. Stop talking, you idiot. I'm not finished. I still don't know which route I took, but I don't think it was that impressive to organize books in an instant. When I went to school, my classmates, who had always looked at me disapprovingly, glanced at me and I received several letters of confession. The girls gave me 8 letters and the boys 5. If it had ended like this, I could have just moved on and thought I would be recognized by others. The problem is that where I work is a library. It's been a month or so since I was advised to quit my job because I was causing a disturbance in the library and could cause disruption. I did nothing. I held my breath. Behind the prescriptive glasses, the pitch black eyes seemed to have lost their color, as if they were twinkling. We were a small library, so this was a first for me, and I was not prepared for it. I understood that, but it still remains unfair. Do you understand too? I get it. You didn't do anything wrong. So that was the end of your part-time job. I didn't think about looking for a job at another library. They'd rather hire a high school kid with no credentials than someone with connections from my old library. I suppose that's fair. I thought it was. Lots of libraries like that. I didn't expect that. Well, the twist is that you are currently working at the largest library in the country. I got a few calls from other libraries asking me to interview me, saying that they could provide a better environment. I see, so were any of them from the Tokyo Metropolitan Library? I wonder if libraries in Tokyo will be able to reach out to Osaka residents. You have a good sense. When I contacted them, the only ones I looked into were libraries in Osaka. The Osaka Prefectural Library is a pretty famous library, but I turned them down because they weren't close to home and because I realized I was more useful than I thought. And I saw it. I saw the Tokyo Metropolitan Library job advertisement and contacted them. Have you ever heard of my name? Even though I'm a high school student, I'm a very sought after talent, so please consider hiring me. And stuff like that. I know the ending, which is why I feel so comfortable listening to you. You're quite a remarkable person. Thank you. Anyway, the application was accepted. I told my parents and went to Tokyo by Shinkansen on the day of the interview. It's routine now, but it was interesting to see Tokyo for the first time. If you're in Minato, you've probably seen Tokyo Tower. Did you have fun? I saw it, but Odaiba was more impressive. I was walking around and someone gave me a business card. I thought he was from the library, but he said it was street casting. Is this what they do in Tokyo? I thought. You've done some pretty serious sightseeing. Was that something you were interested in? Because it was my first time seeing it. I don't know about the second, but the first has little meaning. The reason I cling to books is because they definitely provide fun. The one who sticks to books is me. I seem to remember you saying something similar before. Anyway, how did the interview go? I was told that they would give me the paperwork, but it would be tough in the interview, and it was. That was probably the most serious conversation I've ever had in my life. From memorizing rumors to motivation to applying, what qualities do I have as a librarian, to why should I be chosen? I stood up and thanked them for the job. I immediately called my parents and started looking for a place to live. The interview went so easily. Wasn't it difficult? No, wait, is that how you started living in a single room? I had already found a house to rent, a school to transfer to, and a high school to attend. I was confident and had prepared my plans in advance. And your parents weren't worried about your sudden decision to move out of the country? They're not the kind of people who would do that, but they know I make my own money, so I'm paying for my own room. That's amazing. Firstly, I don't remember, but I don't think my parents would have approved of that. Happy families all look alike, but unhappy families have their own reasons. So I know, every family has its own principle. Jumonji's expression was nonchalant as she quoted a verse from Anna Karenina to explain her point. A far cry from the look in her eyes when she'd just been advised to retire from the library. Where did her not-so-pleasant story end? Yay. I chatted with Jumonji a while longer, then parted ways as I returned to my private room. Awesome. Let's still go for, well, yeah, it is a Jumonji free time event, so. Found you. Save here. Spend time, yep. Let's see, where is it? Oh, there you are. Yeah. We're done for now. Let's go back to my room. Again? Okay, so it's really hard to keep her attention. Plenty of time left? Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, seems fair enough. Let's see. Should I go to the store to get some more gifts for her? Yeah, seems like a good idea. Jesus, why can't I get anything good? I'm already left 16 monocoins. Christ. Three encyclopedias, that's good. An armband, market status. No more book cover. No more mystery novel. What's this? Occult books. No puzzles. Okay, where could she be now? Oh, didn't expect you to be here. Let's see. Oh, Jesus. Yep. Hey, latecomer. Huh? Today, when I was thinking about what topic to lead the conversation, I was struck by surprise. She just tried calling me by my name. Isn't this the first time Jumonji has spoken first? What's your favorite book? A favorite book? Natsume Sasaki's Kokoro, Charles Dickens' Great Expectations, or Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita? I don't remember reading them fully, but I've got the plot in my head, so I guess it's fair to say that I did. They're all interesting. I don't see anything in common between the three. I don't have any particular favorite genre like you. I just watch it if I think it's interesting. You mean read it. There's none. I wasn't going to mention much because you seem to be more of a pure literature kind of girl, but mystery novels are actually a bit of a favorite of mine. That's a misunderstanding. The range of genres I digest is wide. I don't mind watching sci-fi, you mean reading, sci-fi, mystery, fantasy, etc., as long as it is entertaining. You don't think I've read the Lord of the Rings or Miss Marple series for nothing, do you? You like those kinds of novels? That's surprising. In terms of authors, on the western side, I like Van Dyne, Ellery Queen, and John Dixon Carr. On the Japanese side, I like Edogawa Rampo, Kishi Takataro, and Takagi Akimitsu. You have quite a range of tastes. What are you, a fan of old writers? It's been a while since I've done this, so I just pick and choose what I find interesting. Speaking of mystery novels, have you ever heard of Dogura Magura? The 3 greatest Japanese mysteries. I've read all 3. I don't think I've ever met anyone who's read the whole thing. What was the most fun part for you? Dogura Magura was fun, of course, but my favorite is The Sacrifice of the Nihilist. This is a book that most closely follows the grammar of a detective novel. I don't really care about mystery or anything like that, as long as it's fun. That's all that matters, and that is what I like best. The first thing that catches my eye is the background. There's a protagonist who lost his memory, a pseudoscience that claims the madness of his ancestors is inherited by his offspring on a cellular level. And a stage. Cellular. Offspring on a cellular level and stage. It's often undervalued as a weird book with a strange title, but it's undeniably a masterpiece. Of course, it's got an unusual style, and I seriously considered putting it down after about 5 pages. You know the scene where the protagonist first wakes up and is confused? Weak, I can't believe you're thinking of leaving from there. That's your standard. It's true that they're creating a barrier of entry for readers who are just starting to read and don't understand the setting by being unkind to them. But in this situation, it's not like you could understand it right away. What do you mean? The protagonist's situation matches mine perfectly. I lose my memory, wake up in a strange place, and find myself in the middle of something I don't understand. It amazes me every time I see you, how you can remember so much about a book and not remember anything else. Once again, you're wondering about it. Do you remember what we talked about on that first day? I remember the perception of yourself as an individual that you have independently built up. It's like perception is categorized as knowledge because it's a general fact that others can build on, right? I did, and what's interesting to you is that my appreciation of the novel was labeled as knowledge, even though it's clearly a perception about me as an individual. The plot of the book, background on the author, but you don't know them either. It's a famous novel that you must have read, so you classify it as knowledge. It's a feeling, an emotion that is separate from memory. I mean, it's not like my knowledge of the plots of commercially available books or famous authors is anything special enough to be called unique. It shouldn't be strange. Jumonji paused, uncharacteristically for her, before speaking again. I just thought of this. We could use it as a way to get your memory back. After all you have is your memory of the book you read, which tells me what kind of environment you were in.
まあ
I only have a shallow knowledge of it from reading neuroscience books, so I don't know much about it. Waiting for the white rabbit to cooperate, maybe? The white rabbit being Kazuki. That's a good idea. I never thought we'd get stuck in a conversation with them, but thank you. I'll have to have a word with Kizuki.
ありゃ
But don't stop talking now. I'm not done talking to you yet. Huh? Not right now, of course, because I'm talking to you. Jumonji closed her mouth during that last statement, saying something incomprehensible. It's impossible to have a conversation if they don't bring up a topic first. If I say the wrong words, they'll stay silent. It's hard to have a flowing conversation when we're talking in circles. Should I be happy with the status quo and continue this uncomfortable at any moment relationship? Could this be called a relationship? I was in the middle of a complex thought process. Even though I'm extremely afraid of people, I couldn't seem to give up on them. Huh? That's from No Longer Human, that one. Ooh, yeah, I like that one, No Longer Human. My sister bought that book. It was a pretty interesting read.
な
You understand right away, this isn't as bad as I thought. Either way, this is literally it. I did not know there was still a reason why I should not turn people away. Does that mean?
まあ
Come back another time, but for now, I've got something to think about. You mean we should stop the conversation here? Yeah. So this is where she decided she didn't want to keep up anymore. Jumonji. I've been hesitant to say this for a while now, but I don't think there's a single person I'd want them to rot inside, so I'm just going to put it out there. As someone who wants to stop the killing game, and in order to do that, I want to know everyone. I want to be friendly with everyone. Or maybe it's just that I want to have a person-to-person fellowship with no strings attached, and I'm a little anxious with your relationship with you, Jumonji. So if you could answer my question a little. It's because of that. Huh? My words, spoken with great determination, were once again interrupted. I want to stop this conversation now, because of that. It's not like you're not the only one thinking. Just wait. I need time to make up my mind. It was only then that I felt a sense of clarity. I don't really care what other people think of me, so I don't know. Does it look weird from the other person's point of view? Those were words of caution.
すまんの
Sorry. I never thought she would say that. I couldn't even begin to wrap my head around this powerful phrase that summed up the situation in the neatest way possible. What does Jumonji think? Although I was nervous, I promised to do this next time, so I parted ways with Jumonji and returned to my private room. I wonder if we could finish her FTEs. Oh, finally, free time event. What do we have left? Well, I got 2 more encyclopedias. That's great. Time to look for Erika. Where could you be? Oh, there you are. You really hid yourself, huh? Encyclopedia.
ありゃな
Oh, come on. Oh, please, one more FT, please, please. Oh, thank God. So if her intimacy increased, then that means, where? Oh boy, shit. Final FTE, I think. Here you are. Spend time, etc., etc. Give her the thingy.
Aria, na.
As I was doing my research, Jumonji walked over here first. Hello, Jumonji. Is it time?
まあ
What? Well, wait. She's visibly nervous, and I'm nervous too. What is she going to say?
どないや
Hey, do you want to come to my room? Room? You mean your private room? Yes. Now, do you want to come? If you're serious about it, sure, why not? Great, follow me. Wow. Jumonji's private room is more like a library than a room. Numerous bookshelves were lined with well-known masterpieces. There was a large table and chairs. Unfortunately, it's a fancy-looking model those items, and I don't have a copy. I like the idea of a spacious desk. We sat face-to-face across the desk. Now then. You're annoying. You said you wanted to do this, and you still say that to my face no matter what. Why do you keep amusing me? What? I told you before, I'm not interested unless it's interesting. You certainly did. Unfortunately, I never had a funny person in my life, and neither were my parents. They were good people who buy all the books I asked for from a young age, sent me to a high school without any effort, and listened to my unreasonable demands. And yet they never spoke to me. Whether I'm memorizing a textbook and getting a perfect score on a test, or reading the Divine Comedy for a primary school subject, or when I get a job at a library in Tokyo. Did you tell me that you got in touch after the interview?
まあ
And that was it. They were like, oh god, I can't believe you did this without telling us. Well, they didn't ask me any of these things. I don't know if it was indifference or if it was love that they would do anything for me because I was their only daughter. We'll never know. The important thing is that I was never happy with those people.
ほんまに
It was the same in elementary school, middle school, and high school. I wasn't having any fun and we weren't on the same conversational level. Would I have a conversation with someone who hasn't even read Run Mellows? Her preferences were never going to be perfectly aligned, but dialogue should be conducted with consideration for each party. To her, the other person's point of view is worse than a boring book. Grades change, environments change, people change, and yet no one worth interacting with ever showed up. I never got a chance to interact with anyone, just people who looked at me. You mean when you got fired from the library, right? Jumonji nodded. And so I began to abandon my expectations to the people around me. It's pointless because they're the same people, always. But you are not. A slender finger points at my chest.
なんや
You're funny, aren't you? You make my eyes glaze over books, don't you? You love books, but you don't read as much as I do, and you're a very talkative guy. I think you have a good hair and looks, but not my standard. I never take my eyes off my type, except when I'm sleeping or eating. But now that I feel like that time was wasted, I can tell it is more fun to talk to you. I took a step back from the outpouring of praise to collect my thoughts. I objectively don't think I'm a funny person. Why would I be funny? I have a question. Can I ask? Yeah, tell me. It's nothing really special. It's just that when I talk to you, you try to understand me. I thought it might have something to do with this. I understand you? Jumonji was clearly agitated. Pale cheeks were flushed red, regardless of how hard she tried to avoid eye contact. I knew you were different. You're not like everyone else. There's nobody else like you in the world, and I'm the only one who understands. But now that I understand, I don't know you. It's been a long time since I've been like this. Jumonji. Yeah, I'm saying it to you. It's annoying. You may not be feeling it, but I'm feeling emotions I've never felt before. I'm not stupid. I noticed something was wrong the moment I tried to get rid of you. She means that time when she tried to abruptly stop the conversation. But your answer back then was, someone wants to have a person-to-person fellowship with no strings attached, and I'm a little anxious with your relationship with you, Jumonji. Wasn't it like this?
ほんまに
In addition to this, I created an excuse to talk to you again, and called you to my room, and it makes me look embarrassed. Did you do it on purpose, or is it a mechanism? Her face is flushed to the point where I feel sorry for the people who watch this. The cynical attitude is gone. There's only a 5', 10-inch girl sitting in front of me who is surprisingly faithful to the emotions she is experiencing for the first time. She's clearly showing her insides, blatantly and unapologetically to me. I'm not foolish enough not to take this seriously. Are you saying I don't care? That's not true. Of course I'm happy. That I made you happy. That you needed me more. It's almost glorious to be the catalyst for first-time feelings. If it's just you and me, there's no way I would consider it a simple thing when we talk about each other. So you deserve every minute of it. If I'm the one who can push past your hesitations and spill your guts face to face, then that's why I'm here. It was good that I spoke my mind, but not the best thing to do in this situation. Jumonji's white skin had completely lost its color. Her fingertips moistened to the point where she could no longer grip the book. She was trembling slightly. Her quickened breathing was nakedly audible in the silence. Are you crazy? Can't you see what you're doing when I hear you say that? You're doing it on purpose. I didn't mean to say it like that. I never heard such praise from you, so I got a bit nervous. I just don't know what else to do. I guess I'm just like you. The unknown is scary, but until now, not knowing has been fun. As much as I hate to admit it, Lovecraft was right. Once she calmed down a bit, Jumonji was able to return to her usual attitude. Natsume Soseki and the moon, do you know? The moon is beautiful, isn't it? Talking about when Soseki translate that to English. Translation is a poetic way of saying I love you. That's it. Did you know that the anecdote is actually a statement without any exact basis? I didn't see that one coming. Is it really? There's no record of it. It's practically a myth. It doesn't fit Soseki's personality. And yet, I can only think of one thing right now. Living in a closed building has made me lose track of time. If the moon is up right now, then maybe. This month may be the most beautiful of all. God damn. That was beautiful. If we're in Japan, it makes sense to say things like that, right? If you want, you can say things like that directly to my face. That's not it. I did not mean to say that to someone. Please do not think of it like that. Based on the fact that it's not the right time yet, it doesn't matter if it's later. Jumonji was more relaxed, but her eyes still couldn't meet mine. She was still confident, albeit a little arrogant. Alright then, let's leave it until here. Take care, Jumonji. You too, Miyuki. At least a glimmer of light will remain in those pitch-black eyes for some time. I then finished my conversation with Jumonji. I felt a connection with Jumonji that I don't think I could have ever felt closer to. Awesome. Completed. Free time events. What's her skill? What are you gonna give me? Speed reading. The letters you need to argue in a non-stop debate will now be marked with red color. You need to argue in a non-stop debate will be now marked. Oh, so it's giving me hints. Return to my private room. Awesome. We did it. We fucking did it. We got Miyuki, what's her name? Erika Jumonji's free time events. We're done. We're done. Oh, that was interesting conversation. I love it. So what's next? What a complex life she's been leading all this time. Like, yeah, whatever happened to her parents? Like, were they really indifferent, or was that just a way of showing their love for her, their only daughter? I wish that we could explore that part more. But hey, maybe next time. So this has been Danganronpa Mauve Free Time Events of Erika Jumonji. If you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. Translation provided to you by Zephram. Follow them more for more Danganronpa related stuff, etc. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.